Welcome to Top Ranked Wrestling, the home of family-oriented professional wrestling, where old school is cool. Yo, 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 and away we go. Welcome to another edition of TRW Wrestling. I'm Mauro Ranallo along with the Count, and yes, we're here in the great outdoors because, well, we wanted to cool things down for just a bit because inside the Abbotsford Arts Edition, TRW action is hotter than fire for sure. You cannot call me a liar, Count. The action last Saturday night was incredible. A full evening's worth of the best professional wrestling that you will see. And over the next 2 weeks here on TV, my friend, we're going to showcase some of the best stars that you will see anywhere in terms of when it comes to family-friendly professional wrestling. Some newcomers are here, and of course, some old faces who are again trying to prove their worth. Today, the main event will be a return match for the TRW Tag Team Championships as the new champs, well, Lane Fontaine, Bomber Creed put the titles up for grabs against the former title holders in the Local 13 Wrecking Crew.
You know, there has been a lot of controversy about this match. Who knows who the legal man was in that ring? Who knows what the referee was thinking? But it appears as though the Tag Team Championship has been left vacant. But for some unforeseen reason, Commissioner Mike Democrat has allowed Lane Fontaine and Bomber Nelson Creed to hang on to those belts. So tonight we are going to end this once and for all.
Indeed, the champions will be putting up the gold against the former champs, the Local 13 Wrecking Crew, in the main event. Now, we talk about some of the new faces you'll be seeing in TRW. They don't get better than Dynamite Dave Richards, who is returning to British Columbia. He'll be taking on the Canadian superstar Seth Knight. Richards has been all over the world. Counts fought in Mexico, the United States, and even Japan.
Yes, this guy, you know, very little is known about Dave Richards, but we do know this man is dangerous and this man is ruthless, but he has a very large mountain to climb with the superstar Canadian Seth Knight.
All right, how about the Asian Cougar, the masked marvel from the land of the rising sun? He'll be taking on in an all-Japanese affair, T. Kasaki.
This is going to be a rare opportunity for TRW fans to see the broad spectrum of wrestling internationally as we have two of the finest Japanese indie wrestlers tonight on our program.
All right, and then the opener, Kurt Sterling, who so far has had the Midas touch here on TRW, has yet to taste defeat on television. He takes on the protege of the heavyweight champion, Rocket Randy Tyler, Mike DeSheezits.
I think tonight is finally going to be Kurt Sterling's bad night.
All right, let's take you to the ring and kick off this week's action on TRW.
Your heavyweight champion, the Rocket Randy Tyler, here with another happy public service announcement. In case you missed it, of course, most of you know, this is my new protege, Mr. Mike DeSheezits. You took a great step. I think you've been coming along rather nicely. Thanks for the help last week. I didn't need it, but you were there for me, and that's the important thing. You're really starting to catch on. And as a reward, I've got you a match. Brother, I got you a match, and I think even though you're pretty pathetic at this stage and you're still quite the loser and your athletic ability, frankly, is not that good, but I think you're coming along, and I think you are ready for Kurt Sterling. Kurt Sterling and you, this week, it's going to be fantastic. And oh yeah, he's big, but don't worry about it. You got him. This guy's a loser. He's just like you, really. Maybe a little bit better than you are. But don't worry. You're going to do really well. You're going to expect big things from this guy. I know it. I know. Mike DeSheezits. Remember that name.
After a 20-year absence, TRW returns to the Fraser Valley. Saturday, February 21st, 2025 at the Royal Canadian Air Cadet Building, 45786 Princess Avenue, Chilliwack, BC.
This is Kurt Sterling. I've been taking on the biggest and the baddest, and I've been taking them out. And that leaves me one thing. That's you, Randy Tyler, and I'm coming for you. So guess what? You better get ready. I'd be coming for you tonight, but you're busy, so guess what I'm going to do? I'm taking on your little whipping boy, Michael DeSheezits. So you see what I do to him, and you think about what's going to happen to you.
Comments from Kurt Sterling, who kicks off this week, taking on Michael DeSheezits.
Now we got a real contrast of styles here. You got to look at this guy like Kurt Sterling. He looks like he was born with a silver spoon in his mouth. Never had a disadvantage in his life. And, you know, thank goodness for a man like Randy Tyler taking a boy like Michael DeSheezits under his wing in the first ever Big Brothers of Pro Wrestling.
And Sterling so far has had the Midas touch on the TV editions of TRW, enjoying a winning streak, taking on the protege of the TRW heavyweight champion, Randy Tyler, ducking the collar and elbow type and back mount by DeSheezits with that rear naked choke attempt on Sterling now.
Well, you can definitely tell that Randy Tyler's training has been paying off. You get a guy that's bigger than you got to take him down any way you can, and sometimes you just got to choke the air out of the guy.
Sterling now just flips DeShizits over, taking him down the hard way to the canvas. Now picking him up, has him in the corner, going for the Beal.
Come on.
And he beals him halfway across the ring.
This is just plain old bullying is what Kurt Sterling is doing. I mean,
Irish whip. Sunset flip attempt by DeShizits. And Sterling just drops down into mount position now. And again, he picks up the lighter DeShizits. And look at that short power bomb in the sit-out position. Goes for the cover. And DeShizits able to lift the right shoulder at 2.5.
This kid has got a lot of tenacity. He kicked out of 3 big moves in sequence from Kurt Sterling.
Scoop and a slam.
This kid has definitely got a bright future ahead of him. I mean, he's even giving Kurt Sterling a run for his money. Now, I'm not going to say that this kid's going to take down Kurt Sterling today, but this is a great sign of great things to come.
And there it is, the inverted DDT combination leg drop, which results in another 2 count for Kurt Sterling.
I think Kurt Sterling's a little bit amiss at this point. I mean, he's so used to beating guys half his size twice this fast. I mean, I think Randy Tyler has really done a miracle on this kid.
The derisive chants earlier, which were aimed at the heavyweight champion Randy Tyler outside, and there is DeShizits moving out of the way of the corner, and Sterling first going into the corner was Kurt Sterling. Now DeShizits on the second rope.
What's this kid got going on? We haven't seen this before from Mikey D.
Looking for a tornado DDT, and he does plant Sterling like a tree in the center of the ring. So DeShizits coming up with an electrifying move there as he puts some forearms into the back of Kurt Sterling.
This is classic Randy Tyler training. You get the guy down, you stay on him, and you stay on him, and of course, you gotta stay on him.
Reversal by Sterling, tip up now by DeShizits, and back to the back mount now as he goes back for that rear naked choke. And the referee here, Tommy Stripes, has got to make sure that he's not choking Sterling. Looks for the back elbow, and look at this now. Slams him down, power slam style by Sterling.
Oh, you just learned a very valuable lesson. You find something effective on somebody once, that guy's going to learn exactly how to get out of that by the next time you try it again.
And there is a great big weight advantage here for Sterling in this matchup. Sends him for the ride. Towering back body drop delivered by Kurt Sterling. The replay by Skip Signs, and you can see the height attained on that back body drop.
That kid is just swimming in air.
Another Irish whip by Sterling. And another back body drop, and that has got to really take its toll on the spine of Mikey DeShizits. But now you see Randy Tyler distracting Sterling, and that's something that he has to be cognizant of, the heavyweight champion at ringside.
Well, you know, that's Kurt Sterling's fault for being distracted by Randy. You got to keep your eye on the prize. You got to keep your eye on your opponent in the ring, not the guy on the outside of the ring.
Flying head scissors takeover by Mikey DeShizits, showing some of his aerial tactics. Rana now delivered by DeShizits.
This kid is a marvel.
And he's definitely now taking it to the skies, showing marked improvement since we last saw him. But again now, over the shoulder, power slam delivered by Sterling. Will this be it?
How much more punishment can this kid take?
As Sterling continues to drive the air out of the lungs of the diminutive Mikey DeShizits, who is, yes, a part of the Big Brothers of professional wrestling, quote unquote.
And once again, I got to commend Randy Tyler on giving back to the community that has given him so much. I mean,
he is such a magnanimous individual.
He is.
Butterfly suplex delivered by Kurt Sterling. And yes, I use the proper pronunciation of suplex as would be enunciated by the late great dean of pro wrestling announcers, Gordon Soley. Only gets a 2 count, however, count.
Yeah, look, Randy Tyler is awful proud of his protege. Look at that. He's giving a little extra smile for the fans at home. Isn't that nice of him?
Nice vertical suplex. I'll say that was nice.
You mean suplex, right?
And yes, suplex is correct, but for those of us who were born after,
Texas
suplex.
Cloverleaf.
Or Scorpion Deathlock. Let's not call it a sharpshooter.
No, we're not going to call it that.
Will this be enough?
Look, Mikey D, he's reaching down from under it, and he got his way all the way to the ropes. He got out of the Texas Cloverleaf from Kurt Sterling.
Sterling will back DeShizits up against the ropes again, sends him for the ride. This time DeShizits into the wheelbarrow pickup and delivers the bulldog. And DeShizits, I must say, has really taken a page out of the flyers of professional wrestling and is maybe surprising Kurt Sterling here this week.
I think even Mikey D is surprised at the progress he is making. Do you know how many times he has slammed Kurt Sterling's head into that canvas? Oh no, look, a little bit of help from the big brother.
And now Randy Tyler slams Sterling on the outside. Referee Tommy Stripes being, of course, distracted by Mikey DeShizitz. What Tyler got the chair for? This is cause for automatic disqualification.
What is Sweet Daddy Devastation doing at ringside? He has no business being there whatsoever.
Well, speaking of having no business there whatsoever, Randy Tyler has no business interjecting himself into this matchup. Thank goodness Sweet Daddy Devastation came in to the aid of Kurt Sterling. Now DeShizitz putting the boots to the midsection of Sterling. Has him in the corner, goes for the whip, reversal by Sterling, and you see the power that DeShizitz went flying into that corner. There's the avalanche delivered by Sterling.
Well, I will say this about Randy Tyler at ringside. If he was not supposed to be there, that referee, whoever he is, would have thrown him back to the locker room area.
And now Sweet Daddy Devastation serving as a Sterling policeman. Springboard and guillotine leg drop. I think he asked the fans if they wanted a little more, and they said, si senor, and it ends in the 1-2-3 for Kurt Sterling, brought to you by today's country favorites, Country 107.1 FM.
After a 20-year absence, TRW returns to the Fraser Valley. Saturday, February 21st, 2025 at the Royal Canadian Air Cadet Building, 45786 Princess Avenue, Chilliwack, BC.
This is Dynamite Davey Richards, and in 1 year, I've wrestled all over the world. Canada, Mexico, Japan, but I came back to Canada, where I started. Why? Because TRW is the place to be, the place where you make your name. And that starts, for me, tonight.
Comments from Dave Richards, who will face the Canadian superstar Seth Knight in this matchup.
Definitely a Canadian superstar. This guy is nothing but class, nothing but charisma, nothing but charm, and only a real superstar can wear a hat like that down to the ring, and Seth Knight is one of the few people I know that could pull that off.
Knight already jaw-jacking with the crowd as the two circle each other. Oh, man, a lot of snap to that outside leg kick delivered by the world traveler Dave Richards, and I'm sure he picked up those techniques from the land of the rising sun.
Oh, I think he definitely did. This guy has an incredible martial arts background, shoot fighting. This guy is probably one of the most well-rounded athletes we have ever had in TRW.
Reversal by Seth Knight into a side wrist lock of his own. Now some chain wrestling being exhibited by the two combatants. Somersault there, now a bridge by Richards, and the Capo kick, which is also known as the Pele here in North America. Beautiful move by Richards. Very innovative wrestler, this Dynamite Dave Richards.
Oh man, you cannot tell which direction this guy is coming from. I think Seth Knight has got his work cut out for him tonight.
And he also has his work cut out for him in terms of dealing with the crowd, who are already on his case early on in match number 2 this week on TRW Wrestling.
And this is what has me befuddled, is the crowd is not behind the Canadian superstar. I mean, this guy is what Canada is all about, and the crowd's booing him.
Standing switch by Knight, waistlock now as Richards powers out into the hammerlock. Now a half Nelson into the three-quarter Nelson by Dynamite Dave Richards, putting the squeeze and really just cinching it in like a neck vice count as Knight backs him up into the corner.
You know, this is going to be an outstanding matchup because,
paintbrushing Richards, and I don't know if you want to do that, trying to insult the likes of the talented individual known as Dynamite Davey Richards.
I have never questioned Seth Knight's judgment before, but I think that might have been one of the biggest mistakes he has ever made. You don't want to make this guy angry.
You know, Knight goes around calling himself the Canadian superstar. I want to know what the self-proclaimed Canada's greatest athlete, Gene Kiniski, might have to say about that.
I think he'd be very proud.
And another just incredibly stiff kick to the back of Seth Knight right between the shoulder blades, and you can feel that snap echo throughout the Abbotsford Arts edition.
Did you see how fast he got into that headlock right after that kick? It was like lightning.
Dropped down by Knight. Richards is met with a back elbow, crashes to the canvas, and Knight tries to come back with a kick of his own, delivers it, but without the same kind of snap that Richards did.
Oh yeah, and that's Seth Knight's telling him, I can kick too, you know, and there he is repositioning his outfit, showing Dave
wasting
Richards.
Time count, wasting precious time, allowing Richards to get back up to a vertical base.
Yeah, I'll have to agree with you on that one. You don't want to waste time with Dave Richards, but you know, Seth Knight is the kind of guy who learns from his mistakes. He is a very skilled athlete. He can think on his feet, and I think he's got a very good chance of putting Dave Richards away today.
Cinches in the rear naked Choke into the rear chin lock, as it's known in professional wrestling, but you can see Richards pointing to Seth Knight's arm that it is in fact a choke. Referee Vern Siebert now calling for the break. Knight saying, "What? I'm not doing anything illegal, ref."
Well, you know what the ref doesn't see isn't necessarily illegal, and Seth Knight, if he can take an advantage, and if I were him, I would be trying to take as many advantages as I could against this guy.
Scoop and a slam, and the splash by Seth Knight, who outweighs Richards by some 40 pounds.
A brutal body slam from Seth Knight. That was a horrid splash.
And now Richards comes back with a paintbrush of his own, a kick to the midsection, another snap kick to the back. Now it's Richards backing him up along the ropes. Irish whip, but it's Knight, the veteran, holding on the ropes. And Richards misses with a drop kick. Now putting the boots to the back of Richards is the Canadian superstar, Seth Knight, who looks like he's trying to put the squeeze on him now with the body scissors.
Well, this is what I'm talking about with Seth Knight. He learns very fast, and he learns you don't blink when you're in the ring with Dave Richards. You blink, you get 3 hits on you, and he sees that drop kick coming. He grabs onto the ropes. This guy is the Canadian superstar.
And Knight showing some of his smarts when it comes to wrestling, knowing that Richards has shown some speed and quickness, trying to slow down the quicker and more agile Davey Richards, but Richards able to power out there. But look at Knight planting the point of his knee into the side of Dynamite Davey Richards.
This is what I like about Seth Knight. He's nothing but confidence. He realizes just because someone's stronger doesn't mean he's better. Just because someone's faster doesn't mean he's smarter.
Now the submission hold being put on by Seth Knight, in Japan known as the Masala face lock.
Oh, and do you see the way of psychology he's doing on this guy, having him just inches away from that rope and knowing he's not going to get it?
Snap, butterfly suplex by Knight, and doesn't get the victory, however, and now frustration beginning to set in for the veteran Knight. Picks up Richards, knife edge chop, has him along the ropes, delivers another knife edge chop, sends him for the ride. Richards ducks a clothesline, handspring, roundhouse kick, floors Knight, oh my God!
I have never seen a move like that in professional wrestling ever. That was one of the fastest, most amazing moves. My God, I am
stunned. And that is definitely one for the highlight reels, and we need to look at a replay of that one. The handspring goes into a snap roundhouse kick delivered by Richards, and the replay brought to you by Town Cinema Abbotsford.
I just watched it in slow motion and I still don't understand it. Look at how fast this guy is coming at Seth.
And there's a running kick, and orthodox backbreaker. The 2 knees right to the small of the back by Richards, and he is fired up.
Where did this guy come from?
And there's a forearm right to the face of Seth Knight, and a lethal lariat levels the Canadian superstar.
1,
back
2.
press, hooks the outside leg, only gets a 2.5.
Nothing but instinct and fumes running with Seth. This guy is in a whole world of trouble with Dave Richards. Dave Richards signaling that he is going to go up for something big.
Looks like he's setting him up for a high-risk maneuver. Definitely now looking for the crowd support, ascending the turnbuckles. What's he going to do here, Seth? And the star press, and look at it, an instant replay brought to you by Tom Lee Music. Unfortunately, nothing but canvas, and that will drive the air out of his lungs. And now Knight coming back with a choke slam.
Seth Knight using his last lucky horseshoe. He should be hooking that leg if he's going to put Dave Richards out, and he gets just a 2.8.
As Richards able to roll that right shoulder, and Knight definitely frustrated, able to escape the shooting star press, and he was able to execute the choke slam, but he's going to the well once again. Is he going to be able to escape it? Rolling prawn hold here. Mini victory roll by Richards, rolling him up. Is this enough? No.
Well, Seth Knight has to get it back to his own pace. He is befuddled about Dave Richards right now.
Going for the sit-out gourd buster, and this could be it. Does Seth Knight have victory within his grasp? Doesn't hook the leg again, however, and only gets a 2 count. And what a competitive battle we are witnessing this week on TRW's Seth Knight and Dynamite Dave Richards.
What is it going to take to put this Dave Richards kid out?
A series of knife-edge chops delivered by Knight. Fires him into the opposite corner. Builds up a head of steam. Met with a boot to the face. Now it's Richards goes up to the second turnbuckle. Front face lock. Going for a tornado DDT. No, instead, he just snaps him off the top rope. Richards now. Springboard. Drop kick.
This guy is unbelievable. As soon as he hits the canvas, he's back up on the top rope. I think he's made out of flubber or something.
Setting him up for what could be the pedigree Tamikaze. Call it what you will. Dynamite Richards calls it victory this week on TRW Wrestling.
After a 20-year absence, TRW returns to the Fraser Valley. Saturday, February 21st, 2025 at the Royal Canadian Air Cadet Building, 45786 Princess Avenue, Chilliwack, BC.
Kasaki-san, 一番のナンバーワンのジャポネーズ TRW 久我さんゼロクロッセ久我さんクロッセ
Special treat for TRW fans this week, an international bout featuring two superstars from the land of the rising sun in T. Kasaki and Asian Cougar.
You know, this is definitely going to be a fascinating match because although both of these guys come from similar disciplines, same country, this is actually the first time they have met in the ring together. So this is going to be very interesting.
Asian Cougar, the masked superstar from Japan, an indie sensation over in the land of the rising sun, having fought the legendary Tiger Mask Satoru Sayama, as well as teamed up with the great Sasuke T. Kasaki, a mainstay here in TRW, as he crashes to the canvas following that shoulder tackle. Cartwheel now by Asian Cougar. Now sends him to the ropes, ducks the clothesline, grabs him by the wrist, Irish whip, misses with the kick, and fast and furious action to kick things off.
Oh, look, Kasaki is definitely giving this guy a run for his money. Asian Cougar definitely looks a little bit out of sorts. He's not used to guys getting the better of him this early in the match.
Asian Cougar has made myriad trips here to British Columbia over the years, always met with tremendous fan support and tremendous success. Count, you've had many visits with Asian Cougar, the single leg takedown now, and has the toe hold sank in and actually turning it into an Asian ankle lock there. What are your takes on both these competitors?
Well, I've been in the ring with both of these guys, and I definitely got to give the upper hand to Asian Cougar. This guy is an indie legend over in Japan. Look at the size of that scar on his back. I have been in the ring with him on more than one occasion, and he is one of the few people who has actually successfully broken my nose.
Has him in an Indian deathlock now, does Asian Cougar on Kasaki. Kasaki scrambling for the bottom rope to bring about the break.
Oh, the referee did not see Kasaki's hand getting on that bottom rope, and it is very important that the referee sees that. Cougar's very smart, sees where the referee is at, and he gets the hand off the rope.
And now Cougar just busy stretching out T. Kasaki. Kasaki tipping the scales at 180 pounds for this matchup, so a 20-pound weight advantage for Asian Cougar. And Cougar now finally getting back up to his feet and will allow T. Kasaki to do the same.
Cougar is definitely unparalleled in this business. This guy is unbelievable, and we are definitely delighted to have him here in TRW. But look at what Kasaki is doing to Cougar. He's giving some fight back.
Triumvirate of shoulder kicks there delivered by Kasaki. An elbow to the throat sends Cougar to the canvas, goes for the count and gets a 2. Does T. Kasaki, and as TRW continues to grow far and wide, as our TV begins to finally establish itself, we are attracting superstars from all over the world, and this week it is an all-Japan affair between Kasaki and Asian Cougar.
And these Japanese, they are very definitely cagey wrestlers. They are sneaky. If you notice the black face paint that Kasaki wears, it is starting to rub off on Asian Cougar, and that is actually very slippery oil paint. And this could actually make Cougar make a mistake later on in the match, and Kasaki realizes this.
Kasaki misses with that high roundhouse. Now Asian Cougar on the outside on the apron there will try to get himself back into the ring. Rams Kasaki's head into the top turnbuckle, and look at that! From the outside into the ring with the Rana on Kasaki. In Japan, pro wrestling known as Pururesu, and there is some Pururesu prowess delivered by Cougar as he low bridges Kasaki, sends him to the outside, and Cougar now going all the way to the second turnbuckle, and oh, there it is, the Atomico, known as a rolling senton to the floor.
Oh man, this Cougar is tough as nails. He does not feel pain. I have seen him take some of the most dangerous moves. And look at this.
And there is
right into the concrete.
A replay brought to you by Clearcraft Printing. High-risk maneuver delivered by the one and only Asian Cougar.
And do not be fooled by imitators. This guy is the real deal. He is the legend all the way from Japan. And look at, oh my goodness, did you see that senton?
Beautiful senton, also known as a hilo. And yes, it is Asian Cougar now all over T. Kasaki as TRW continues to bring in the greats, as we are indeed family-friendly professional wrestling going far and wide to bring in the best wrestling talent that we can deliver to you each and every Saturday afternoon.
And it definitely does not get much better than this. Asian Cougar, a legend in his own right, and for the first time, meeting T. Kasaki in the ring. And T. Kasaki, look, he's going to try and get the mask off of Asian Cougar quite possibly.
Now it's T. Kasaki on the second turnbuckle, maybe setting him up for a tornado DDT, and does so as he rolls Asian Cougar over, goes for the cover, hooks a leg in a north-south pinning attempt there, but unable to get the victory. And T. Kasaki now frustrated, but instead of just holding himself a pity party, he needs to go in for the kill here, Count.
You know, I just noticed something about Kasaki's pants. You know, if he positions himself right, the referee can't actually see if the wrestler is getting his shoulders up off of the canvas, and that is definitely going to give a fantastic advantage to T. Kasaki.
Bring up a salient point. And now Cougar turning him around. There is a beautiful arm wringer. Now side headlock, springboard,
U-turn!
and there is the U-turn into the Bulldog. Rolls him up inside leg, and is that a 3?
Got him! Asian Cougar making quick work out of T. Kasaki.
The U-turn spells a victory for the Asian Cougar with that Bulldog rattling the brain of T. Kasaki this week on TRW.
After a 20-year absence, TRW returns to the Fraser Valley. Saturday, February 21st, 2025 at the Royal Canadian Air Cadet Building, 45786 Princess Avenue, Chilliwack, BC.
All right, we're moments away from the main event for the TRW Tag Team Championships. The champs, Lane Fontaine and Nelson Bomber Creed, putting the titles on the line against the former title holders, the Local 13, a Wrecking Crew. And this is a feud that has, well, simmered and now has reached a full boil.
This is one heck of a feud. I have never seen the tenacity of Wrathchild and Killswitch been brought out by any opponent like Lane Fontaine and Bomber Nelson Creed.
Okay, now you are one of those people who thought that the title switch was a rather controversial one, when everyone else who saw it on television saw the documented evidence and know for a fact that Creed and Fontaine won the titles fair and square. I'm giving you an opportunity right now to state your case.
Well, first off, documented schmockumented. These guys stole the belts. Who knows who the legal man was in that ring? I don't know. The referee didn't know, but he called the 1, 2, 3 anyways. As far as I'm concerned, Lane Fontaine and Bomber Nelson Creed are nothing more than a couple of thieves.
Having said that, what is it going to take for the Local 13 Wrecking Crew to take the titles back tonight?
They just got to play their game as usual, but the thing is, Lane Fontaine and Nelson Creed got to take it up a notch if they are going to maintain these belts. These things were given to them like a gift from Commissioner Mike Democrat, which was totally unfair, totally not right. Tonight, we're going to settle this once and for all.
Do you ever listen to what you're actually saying, given to them?
I drift in and out.
Thank you very much. They weren't given to them. Lane Fontaine, Nelson Bomber Creed won the titles fair and square, and they will try to retain them coming up. It's the main event for the TRW Tag Team Championships here on TRW Wrestling.
Oh, this is just incredible. And Nelson Creed up with the drop kick from the top rope.
Springboard drop kick, and Creed goes for the cover.
Oh, Nelson Creed is in a whole world of trouble now. You get Wrathchild in that ring, and look at this. Not only the physical dominance.
Front face lock by Killswitch now as Creed is trying desperately to make it to his corner, looking for that tag, and now the smart Wrathchild comes in, and you know what's going to happen here. Combination leg drop, again calling for the bell. He has ruled this match a no contest, and in come the troops. The cavalry has come in from the dressing room. And as a certain broken record count will tell you, what the referee doesn't see, the referee can't call.
I sound like a broker's not going to see this. It's definitely going to happen for you. Broken record.
What are you sounding like?
A broken.
Thank you. Wrathchild now giving an ominous look to the crowd, and there Fontaine moving out of the way and from around the waists of the champs.
And here comes the monster Wrathchild, 7 feet tall and nothing but strength. Look at that beautiful side slam, nonchalant cover. He is telling Lane Fontaine.
Oiled machine here, another quick tag to his partner Killswitch, the double team. Now they have a count of 5. The enormous Wrathchild, as it does stop Lane Fontaine from making the tag to his partner. Leg drop by Killswitch, and now just putting his hands around the throat of Fontaine as they try to sap the life out of The save the day for the Bomber Nelson Creed, and now things are breaking down once again in the ring as Creed goes after Wrathchild inside the ring. It's Killswitch and Fontaine with the leapfrog super kick.
Lane Fontaine has got no business being into that ring. He is cheating. He is
Teamwork personified. We have new tag team champions.
Oh no, it cannot end this way for Wrathchild and Killswitch.
New tag team champions as Nelson Creed, Lane Fontaine have just...
Local 13, you want to whine and complain saying that we stole these belts from you? You watch the tape, you'll see that we beat you fair and square. So we'll give you the rematch tonight and we'll take you down because you see the marquee, it says wrestling, not freak show. Bring it on because we're ready.
That's right, we're ready. We're ready because of our dedication to professional wrestling, to training, and to going to the gym. Neither of you guys even look like you know a guy named Jim, let alone work out now and again. If you want to come and get these belts, you can come anytime, anywhere. They're guaranteed to stay with us.
Bring it, bring it, bring it.
Top Rank Wrestling has found some contenders worthy of the crown. Lane Fontaine, Bomber, you have awakened the beast. And now the Local 13 Wrecking Crew is on the hunt for you. You better believe it.
All right, it's time for the main event. One fall for the TRW Tag Team Championship, and Lane Fontaine wasting no time to get things started as he and his partner, Bomber Nelson Creed, go after the challengers, the Local 13 Wrecking Crew.
You know, and I'd say it's about time that we settled this. There was a large dispute last week as to who the real champions were, who the legal men were in the ring, what the referee was thinking when all of this happened. Now this is finally, we're going to see things getting done. And look at this!
You can see that there is some teamwork being displayed by the champions as Creed and Fontaine eliminate the taller Wrathchild. And now they have Killswitch all to themselves as they fire him into the ropes in a double back body drop. And the champions are on fuego to kick off your main event.
Now the referee should be getting in here. There was too many people in that ring. Both Lane Fontaine and Bomber Nelson Creed were ganging up on Killswitch, and that's just not right. That's not good sportsmanship, and it's not fair.
Clothesline by Creed brings Killswitch to the canvas, has him back up on his feet, sends him for the ride again, and an elbow right to the throat, and that sends him back to the canvas one more time as Creed wants to really send a message here to Killswitch as he rocks his jaw with that European uppercut.
You know, I would say definitely for the first time I'm actually seeing Lane Fontaine prepared for a match as well as Bomber Nelson Creed. These guys mean business today. They have done their homework, and oh my goodness,
Nice
do you see
drop kick.
Beautifully textbook executed.
Beautiful pinning predicament there by Bomber Creed, but unfortunately it's Killswitch who's able to escape as we have some fast and furious action here to kick off the main event. Another European uppercut by Creed as he continues to work on Killswitch. Killswitch and Wrathchild, former tag team champions, looking to wrap those belts around their waists again tonight.
Now, as you saw the early pinning combination from Bomber Nelson Creed, he is not looking, he knows he's not going to pin this guy this early in the match. This is his way of saying, I got you, I am on top of you, and I am going to win this match.
Some great agility by Creed as he leapt up to the top turnbuckle and turned that into a pinning predicament. Tag made from the second turnbuckle, double axe handle delivered by Fontaine, sends him for the ride. Nice drop kick, finds its mark, and Fontaine goes for the cover, quickly doesn't hook the leg, however, and Killswitch is able to escape.
You know, Fontaine and Nelson Creed are finally doing the right thing. As far as I can tell, they're not trying to please the fans out here. They're keeping their eye on the prize. They know that they have to give it their all if they are going to take down Wrathchild.
Beautiful helo by Fontaine, also known as the slingshot senton, and again, unable to put away Killswitch. And now there's a right hand, sends him down to one knee, comes off the ropes, but instead, look at Wrathchild trying to stop him there, and he just snaps his neck off the top rope into a belly-to-belly suplex by Killswitch.
You cannot blink when you got Wrathchild and Killswitch into that ring. You cannot expect that these guys are going to play by the rules 100%. These guys are from the bowels of Surrey.
And a knee drop followed by a leg drop, and now Killswitch is taking it to one half of the TRW Tag Team Champions, Lane Fontaine.
You know what I like about Killswitch? He is a very proficient technical wrestler, but he's not afraid to throw a few closed fists. He is going to do whatever it takes to get that gold back around his waist.
And there is a beautiful power slam delivered by Killswitch. Will this be enough? No, as Fontaine able to escape that pinning predicament. Killswitch with a nice forearm to the back now of Lane Fontaine as he now sets him up for what could be a suplex, able to pick him up and deliver that vertical suplex as you see that ugly visage come into your living room.
Okay, no, I don't think Killswitch would really appreciate anybody on this side of the microphone calling him ugly. I don't want to meet this guy in a well-lit room, let alone a back alley.
We'll put it this way, he may not be the type that will be walking down any runways, but he may be walking down some dark alleys in the middle of the night, and now the tag is made to the much bigger Wrathchild. Fires Fontaine into the opposite corner, coming in, and Fontaine escapes. And in his midsection first, Fontaine with a slingshot. Whoa, and you saw him there missing with that springboard signature move of his, missing with the roundhouse, and it is Wrathchild able to take advantage of the situation with that sidewalk slam.
And as we saw in last week's episode, Lane Fontaine connected with that kick, and Wrathchild was prepared for him this time. Wrathchild has done his homework. He's not going to make the same mistake twice.
And now it's Fontaine in enemy territory. And the tag is made, and in comes Killswitch, looking to put the switch on the off position for Fontaine. Double elbows delivered to Lane Fontaine, who now desperately needs to make a tag.
I would not want to be in Lane Fontaine's tacky yet beautiful boots at this point in time. He is going to be in a whole world of hurt when he has to bear up. Oh,
and he
my
stops
goodness.
the momentum and delivers a DDT. Will this allow Fontaine now to get to his corner, where he needs to make the tag to Bomber Nelson Creed, who's trying to rally the crowd behind Lane Fontaine.
Lane Fontaine is using every last little bit of strength to get back to the Bomber Nelson Creed. Killswitch, still dazed from that DDT, is making his way back to his much larger partner, Wrathchild.
And you can hear the crowd chanting, "Bomber, Bomber," and the tag is made, but referee Vern Siebert didn't see it. And you can see now that Wrathchild capitalizing on this event for the tag team challengers, and now Siebert says, well, I didn't see that tag, I didn't see the other tag. Vern Siebert is losing control here.
The fans are definitely out of control. They are very angry at this. They saw the tag with Lane Fontaine and Bomber. We saw the tag with Lane Fontaine and Bomber, but the referee did not see it, and it is all about what the official can and cannot see.
Vern Siebert breaking down here. Things are getting out of control in the TRW main event, and there is that Superfly splash out of the corner by Bomber Creed. Will this be enough? Only a 2.5.
Oh, this is turning into one heck of a match. I do not know how referee Vern Siebert is going to keep all of his eyes on all of this action.
El Burrito, the flying forearm delivered by Bomber and Nelson Creed, called the El Burrito by Manny the Raging Bull Fernandez back in the day. A vertical suplex now by Creed, floats over into the pinning attempt and gets only a 2.
This Bomber is just on fire. He has got no quit in him, and he has gone mano-a-mano with that monster Killswitch. Not many men would be brave enough to step in a ring with a man like this.
And you see him follow up that firing of Killswitch into the corner with that clothesline, does it again, and there's nowhere for Killswitch to go, so feeling the full brunt of that lariat, now the reversal by Killswitch, and he goes into the corner, missing, and that El Lariarto, the rabbit clothesline delivered by Wrathchild, and now Siebert again keeping Fontaine from helping his partner. Meanwhile, the challengers continue to work on Creed. There's a guillotine leg drop from the second turnbuckle.
Now this is going to be a note to all future tag teams, including the Bomber Nelson Creed and Lane Fontaine. Wrathchild only looks stupid. He is a very smart man, very cagey. You cannot turn your back on him.
And the fans here at the Abbotsford Art Edition continue to rally behind Nelson Creed, chanting his nickname of Bomber in unison. But now it's Killswitch looking at cinching in the camel clutch. And that really does put a lot of weight and a lot of pressure on the back.
You know, these fans can chant Bomber all they want, but Killswitch is closer to him. He's got Killswitch's mouth in his ear. He has got nothing but Killswitch's psychology bearing down on him. He is wearing this guy down, mind, body, and soul.
All right, now coming back with some elbows in the midsection, and Killswitch saying, I'll have none of that, whipping him back down to the canvas. Killswitch with that knee right down to the throat of Nelson Bomber Creed. And now the challengers have all the momentum here.
And you know what I like about Killswitch? When this guy smells blood, he goes in for the kill. He is like the great white shark of TRW. He knows that Nelson Creed's neck has been hurt from Wrathchild. That's all he's doing is working on the neck.
And Killswitch gets another 2 count using the ropes to his advantage. But what's he doing now? Questioning the cadence of the count of referee Vern Siebert. Was there even a tag made there? What kind of a tag was that? As Wrathchild just comes into the ring and delivers a thunderous slam to Creed.
I'll tell you what kind of tag that was. Fantastic. These guys are setting the pace of their match. These guys are calling the shots. This is their match now. It started off with Lane Fontaine and Nelson Creed. sideswiping these guys. And
Look at this from the top turnbuckle, a diving headbutt. I think he wanted to go for the splash. He was able to at least connect with a headbutt, but it still took a lot out of Wrathchild, and you could see the Bomber Creed still feels some of the effects of that headbutt. But now the tag is made, and Wrathchild will go and recuperate. Killswitch comes in, full scoop and a slam, and for the tag team championships, their belts are in a very precarious position right now. The titles hanging in the balance in this, the main event.
And taking you back a couple of moments, that is the other definition of high-risk maneuver. Wrathchild risked everything. He may have very well dislocated his shoulder, but this guy does not feel pain. Look at this, with the strength of the monster Wrathchild, lifting Nelson Creed up off the canvas.
And far be it from me to question the officials, the hardest job in any sport, but referee Vern Siebert has lost absolute control in this one. And if I were the tag team champions, Bomber Nelson Creed and Lane Fontaine, I would demand 2 referees the next time I defend the titles, because frankly, Vern Siebert has lost absolute control.
Well, if these guys can't get the job done with what the cards they've been dealt, then they're not real champions. I mean, you get one referee in there, you gotta work around your faults. Why don't we just give these guys a mint on their pillow back in the locker room?
Downward spiral delivered by Nelson Bomber Creed. I've heard enough of the apologist known as the Count. Thank you very much.
I'm not apologizing.
You're an apologist for the challengers in this match, and you know very well that the referee has lost control. Finally, a tag made, and in comes Fontaine.
Well, you know, the referee, that's not Wrathchild and Killswitch's fault. I mean, who hired this guy? I think it was the commissioner, Mike Democrat.
Somewhere the Marcus of Queensberry is rolling in his grave, and now look at this. You see Killswitch has the brass knucks and contact. Yes, 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 there is justice. And the missile dropkick, and haven't we seen this before? Town Cinema Center bringing you the replay, and the champions defend the titles on TRW. What do you think of that, Cal?
I think Wrathchild and Killswitch were robbed.
After a 20-year absence, TRW returns to the Fraser Valley. Saturday, February 21st, 2025 at the Royal Canadian Air Cadet Building, 45786 Princess Avenue, Chilliwack, BC.
Well, Mr. Cal, what do you have to say for yourself now? The champions, Lane Fontaine and Nelson Bomber Creed, retain the titles.
Well, I think the truth came out. I think everybody saw with their own eyes. It has been documented on video.
Yes.
The truth is out. We need better referees here in TRW. We need a better commissioner here in TRW. Mike Democrat is incompetent. He does not belong in the office. And we need better referees than Vern Siebert. This was a travesty of justice tonight, and this is not over by a long shot.
I'm going to ask him now to get off of his soapbox and maybe try to make some sense. It was a great defense by your tag team champions, Lane Fontaine and Nelson Bomber Creed, finally vanquishing the Local 13 and Wrecking Crew. Will have to go back to the drawing board. And a great night overall for some newcomers as well. We saw Dave Richards, we saw Asian Cougar. And speaking of which, Asian Cougar and Dave Richards, a big treat for wrestling fans everywhere, coming up on the second half of this great showcase of talent held at the Abbotsford Arts Edition next week. They will be going one-on-one, and what a matchup that should be.
This is a rare treat for wrestling fans to actually see these two fine competitors at the peak of their game duking it out. And for once, I do not have a prediction. I have no idea where this is going to go. Dave Richards is a machine. Asian Cougar, one of the most famous indie wrestlers of all time in Japan. He has been affiliated with the great Sasuke. He has been affiliated with Tiger Mask. This man is off the charts, but Dave Richards, I don't know where he's getting his strength from. This guy is a machine.
All right, also coming up next week, it is going to be to determine the #1 contenders for the TRW Tag Team Championships, the GOD. Yes, Michelle Stars come to TRW teaming up with Mr. Beefy Goodness, Vance Nevada, taking on Vein Rage. Vid Vein and Rage should be interesting, to say the least.
This is going to be completely about brains versus brawn, and the GOD have brought their very own professional wardrobe consultant. So this is going to be a fantastic show.
And in the main event next week, it will be for the TRW Heavyweight Championship. The Rocket, Randy Tyler, will defend against former champion Sweet Daddy Devastation. Your thoughts on that, Tilt?
Well, I would like to draw attention to the Rocket Randy Tyler's wonderful progress that he's been making with Michael Dashizitz. I mean, this is a fighting champion, and this is the kind of champion we want in TRW. Sweet Daddy Devastation has no business getting back in that ring for a second title shot.
It's going to be another scintillating hour of action. We invite you to be a part of it next week. For The Count, I'm Mauro Ranallo. Thank you for watching TRW Wrestling. See ya.
Tick tock, tick tock. Top Rank Wrestling, we are putting you on notice effective immediately. Because now, not only do you have to deal with Mr. Beefy Goodness, Vance, Nevada, you have to deal with the entire Glamour Order of Discipline, and that is Mr. Beefy Goodness, Disco Fury, and gorgeous Michelle Starr. If you thought you had it bad before, we're serving notice on everybody from the commissioner all the way down to Michael Dashizitz starting next week.
Right here, you're looking at gorgeous Michelle Starr, every man's dream, every woman's fantasy, and each and every one of you want to be just like me. The reason I came to Top Rank Wrestling is I knew there was lots of beef here. I knew the beef was here, and I found the beef in Mr. Beefy Goodness. And together with Disco Fury and myself, we're looking at the TRW Tag Team Championship. I see it around our waist, Vance, Nevada. I know the beef has the power, the Star has the power, and soon we'll be Tag Team Champions.